Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. This is Bhagavati Vasudha Devi Dasi from Mangalore, India. Please forgive me for stopping all of you from chanting. Let us move on to the next part of the session. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name given by Vyasadeva and Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move on to the next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all are joining the call today?
हरे कृष्ण भगवती वसुधा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। प्रीतिदासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Cincinnati.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Priya Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Nanat Pranam. I offer my obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Arun Shah from West Bengal.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much Prabhu for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, all glories Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Rana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Susmita from Mississauga, Canada.
Hare Krishna, Susmita Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा भगवती वसुधा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय दिस इज श्यामा गौरी देवीदासी फ्रॉम शार्लेट
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Okay, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.52 onwards. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Ayan Saha Prabhu for the brief introduction on Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhu, over to you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. My from obeisance to all the small devotees, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Here is a very brief introduction for our dear speaker. His Grace Gaur Vilas Das. Prabhuji came to Krishna consciousness in 2004. Prabhuji earned a MBBS degree from Grant Medical College. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji joined the ashram in 2010 and was initiated as a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2012. Prabhuji preaches in various medical and engineering colleges. Prabhuji also conducts programs for doctors at Bhaktivedanta Hospital and in corporate environments. Prabhuji is a teacher of Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhava courses. Prabhuji also conducts congregational programs in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji has done thorough studies of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Here's a brief introduction, Mataji. Over to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for that brief introduction.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept all of our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association in this Bhakti Sangha conference call. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for this opportunity to serve. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Vaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nidhinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vachadhyade Shitarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, text number 52. Dharmam artham cha kamam cha nitaram cha nupurvashah praharadayo chaturajan prashrita vanataya cha. Translation. Thereafter, Shanda and Amarka systematically and unceasingly taught Prahlad Maharaj, who was very submissive and humble, about mundane religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Purport. There are 4 processes for human society: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, and they culminate in liberation. Human society must follow a process of religion to advance. On the basis of religion, one should try to develop his economic condition so that he can fulfill his needs for sense gratification according to the religious rules and regulations. Then liberation from material bondage will be easier to attain. That is the Vedic process. When one is above the stages of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, one becomes a devotee. He is then on the platform from which he is guaranteed not to fall down again in the material existence. Yad gatva na nivartante. As advised in Bhagavad Gita, if one transcends these four processes and is actually liberated, one engages in devotional service. Then he is guaranteed not to fall to material existence again. Hare Krishna. So this is a very, very wonderful section going on in Srimad Bhagavatam. This entire seventh canto describes the auspicious and inauspicious inclinations, Ruti. The epitome of inauspicious inclination is symbolized by Hiranyakashipu. An epitome of auspicious consciousness is Prahlad Maharaj. What is the epitome of auspiciousness? People in this world generally, they think if I have good wealth, property, relatives, husband, wife, children, good bank balance, then I'm happy. Deha, Patya, Kalatra, Adishu, all these things. Atma, Jaya, Suta, Agar, Pashu, Dravid, Bandhu, Rajya. These are considered auspicious and fortune in this world. But Prahlad, he is showing by his example what is real fortune, what is actually auspiciousness. We have discussed, all of you must have heard all this wonderful section where Prahlad, as a small boy, who was really tested. So many problems came in his life. In this chapter, Hiranyakashipu tried his best to kill him. Everything he tried. He tried putting him under the feet of an elephant, feet of elephants, in the pit of snakes, stab him, pierce him, throw him from the cliff, try to freeze him to death. So many things he tried. Tried to burn him, give poison. But still, Govinda Parirambhitaha. The word used is Govinda Parirambhitaha. He was always protected by the Supreme Lord Govinda. And then in this section, we are seeing how Prahlad, he was again sent to school. Hiranyakashipu was frightened, seeing that this child is not dying. Now I am going to die. And he started really getting fearful. And seeing this fearful condition of Hiranyakashipu, his teachers and the Shanda and Amarka, they try to console Hiranyakashipu. Don't worry, he's a small boy. Sometimes children, when they are very small, they like to go to temple. They like to come for Mangalarti. And when somehow parents, they are not able to come, child cries, oh, I want to go to Mangalarti. And when the same child grows up, parents tell, please come for Mangalarti. He says, no, I'm not interested. Shandanumar tells Hiranyakashipu, he's a small child, that's why he's behaving like this. He'll grow up, he'll become like us, like you, a good demon. Shanda and Amarka, they take him again back to the Gurukul. They are trying to ask him secretly, what is the reason? They ask so many things. They try to teach him again all those topics of duplicity, hypocrisy, and in this verse we have heard they are teaching dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Not moksha, dharma, artha, kama. Sorry, moksha is not there in the syllabus of Shandana Margam. The demons are only interested in dharma, artha, and kama. Srila Prabhupada in the purport describes ultimately all these four processes should culminate in liberation. Dharmasya hi apavargasya. Dharma should be practiced for liberation. In today's scenario, this word dharma is a very, very sensitive word. Sanatan dharma, Sanatanis, very, very sensitive words. As a practitioner of Krishna consciousness, we should be very, very clear. We should have no confusion about what is the dharma which we need to follow. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary on this verse, dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho arthayopakalpate narthasya dharmaekantasya kamo labhaya hi smritaha. In this verse, Chakravarti Thakur writes, different classes of people, they have different dharma. When they practice different dharma for different destination, apavarga. What is a dharma for a karmi? A karmi, he is supposed to do yajna. Why he does all this yajna? Yajna ishtva swargatim prarthayante, as Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. They do all the hard work, all the rituals. Why? Kriyate bahulayasha. They will do hard labor for what? Swargalokam vishalam. They want swarga. That is the liberation for karmis. What is the liberation? What is the dharma for a jnani? A jnani is supposed to cultivate renunciation, cultivate knowledge. Tapasya, brahmacharyena, shamena cha, damena cha, tyagena, sattva shauchabhyam, yamena, niyamena va, all these things a jnani has to do. What is the liberation for a jnani? Brahman. Brahma Mukti is the liberation. For a Ashtanga Yogi, what is dharma? Dharma for Ashtanga Yogi is yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dhyan, dharana, samadhi. What is the liberation for Ashtanga Yogi? Paramatma realization, Brahman, ultimately. And then after describing all this, he says, what is the dharma for a devotee? There should be no confusion about this. What is my dharma? Am I supposed to dedicate myself for the Desh Dharma or any dharma related to this world? Bhagavatam very clearly describes dharma projita kaitavatra parama. All the other types of dharmas are rejected. Then what is a dharma for devotee? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, the 9 limbs of devotional service which Prahlad Maharaj told. What is the liberation a devotee wants? A liberation the devotee wants is Krishna Prem. That's the only thing which devotee wants. Nothing else. Because nothing of this world will satisfy a devotee or a living entity. Anything you try to do in this world, it will not give satisfaction to the heart. Only things which give satisfaction to the heart, to the soul is when we connect to the Supreme Lord. When we absorb our mind and senses in pastimes of Krishna, pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, now Gaur Purnima is coming. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Leela Adbhuta Ananta Brahma Shiva Sheshayar Pai Nahiyanta Sarvendriya Tripta Hoye Shravane Yahar Shri Krishna Chaitanya Leela Amrite Radhar Shravanendriya Tripta Sarvendriya Tripta Hoye Shravane Yahar. If you want to absorb, if you want to be satisfied in life, there's only one thing which gives satisfaction, and Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita describes very emphatically. Nothing of this world will give satisfaction. In fact, Bhagavatam began with this. First canto Bhagavatam, 4th chapter, after hearing the 6 answers of the sages of, after hearing the 6 answers from Suta Goswami, the sages of Naimisharanya, they ask another questions, 3 questions. Because while describing the 6th answer, where did religion take shelter after Krishna left? Suta Goswami describes, Krishne Sudhamo Bhagate Dharmagyana Divisaha Kalau Nashtra Dishamesha Purana Arka Adhunoditaha. Dharma appeared as Bhagavatam. Suta Goswami glorifies Bhagavatam. Shaunaka rishis, they become inquisitive, curious to know about the history of Bhagavatam. When it was written, what was the impetus behind writing Bhagavatam? Suta Goswami continues the discussion. How Vyasadeva, when he saw the anomalies of Kali Yuga, Bhautikanam cha bhavanam shakti rasam cha takritam ashraddadhanan nisatvan durmedhan rashitayushah. He saw the people of Kali Yuga, they'll be having very less faith, ashraddhan, they'll be having less ayu, they'll be unfortunate. Out of his compassion, Durbhagam Shajanan Vikshya. He saw people of Kali Yuga, they are unfortunate. What is a real fortune? Why Vyasadeva saw people of Kali Yuga as unfortunate? Because people of Kali Yuga, they are not interested in spiritual life. They are not interested in knowing about Krishna. That's why Advaitacharya was also very, very sad, seeing the materialistic people, entire society, all the people of Navadvip, they were absorbed in karma kandi rituals. They would spend lots of money on sense gratification. They would spend lots of money in marriage of the animals. They would spend their time and intelligence in debating over all material topics. That created compassion in the heart of Advaitacharya. That is how the great souls are. They can never see people suffering in this way. That was the condition of Vyasadeva also. Durbhagam janan vikshya muni vidyena chakshusha. Vyasadeva, he saw with his transcendental vision the fallen condition of people of Kali Yuga, and he wrote all the scriptures, wrote down everything. They were already there. He divided all the Vedas into 4, then he wrote Puran, Itihas, Mahabharata. It was an amazing composition. It was unparalleled in the history. He had made original compilation. It was not that he copied from somewhere, no. He was actually working for the welfare of people in general, writing out all the dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Interestingly, even after working very hard, the full capacity, in a selfless way, still he was not satisfied. Srila Prabhupada in this purport, he emphasizes, only by the process of devotional service, one can actually get liberated. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport there, When one is above the stages of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, one becomes a devotee. All the other things which are mentioned in the Vedas, they are related to dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Vyasdev, he did a wonderful compilation. But still, Vyasdev was dissatisfied. Na tushyat hridayam tataha evam pravrittasya sada bhutanam shreyasi dvijaha sarvatmakenapi yada na tushyat hridayam tataha. Still, he was not satisfied. And he was contemplating, why I am not satisfied. I have followed all the rules and regulations. I have followed all the vows. I have worshipped the Supreme Lord. I have worshipped the altar of sacrifice. Why? Why still I am not satisfied? Tathapi batame dahiyo. Still, I don't know why I am not satisfied. Asampanna iva bhati. I am not complete. That is the experience of most of the people in the world. When people, they focus only on dharma, artha, kama, moksha, it will not give satisfaction. Even moksha does not give so much of satisfaction. But interestingly, Vyasadeva, he had written about moksha also. Moksha gives satisfaction, but not so much. He's thinking, he's contemplating, why? Why I am not satisfied? Why a living entity is not satisfied? Even after getting all the sense gratification, why somebody is not satisfied? Even after coming to Krishna consciousness, after spending many years in Krishna consciousness, after getting good position in the society, Krishna consciousness society, when devotees, they recognize, oh, this person, this Prabhuji, this Mataji is such a wonderful devotee. But still, the satisfaction may not come if we are not careful about connecting to the Supreme Lord. Because in due course of time, spending years in Krishna consciousness, all the facilities, respect will come. Dharma, artha, kama will come even in spiritual life if we are not careful. You'll get respected. That is the anartha which comes from bhakti. So you'll be thinking, what kind of this? What is this? How can anartha come from bhakti? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in Madhurya Kadambini, there are 4 types of anarthas. Dushkrit uttha, Sukrit uttha, Aparadh uttha, and Bhakti uttha. There are some anarthas which arise because of previous lives' sinful activity. Dushkrit uttha. It makes one more attracted to sense gratification, more attracted to sinful desires. Aparadh, there are some anarthas which arise because of the pious activities. The desire to indulge in pious sense gratification increases. It will be a pious way only, but sense gratificatory desire will increase. There is some anartha which arises because of the aparadh which we do while we are worshipping the deities, we are chanting the names of the Lord, we are serving Vaishnavas, we make offenses. There is one anartha which arises because of that also. That anartha destroys our taste for bhakti. That anartha doesn't allow us to experience the prema. But there is a 4th type of anartha, bhakti uttha anartha. The more we spend time in Krishna consciousness, we'll be recognized as a senior devotee just by spending years. We'll get respected, puja, labha, pratishtha, all this will come. We should be careful. If we start identifying these things as our success in spiritual life, it is a recipe for disaster. We should be very, very careful. The actual sign of advancement in Krishna consciousness is how humble one has become, how surrendered he or she has become. Am I still ready to listen to my authorities? Or I'm thinking I am such a great devotee, spent so many years in Krishna consciousness. It is very, very important to understand and introspect. What is the impetus for my bhakti now? If you are not careful, Maya Devi very, silently creeps in and will not even realize that I am not watering my Bhakti Lata beach. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes Kaviraj Goswami writes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as he is describing the Bhakti Lata beach in Madhya Leela, instructing to Sanatana Goswami, he explains, Kuti Nati, Nishiddhachar, all these are the weeds which grow along with the Bhakti Lata beach. Desire for respect, fame. If we are not careful, we may water those weeds. So Vyasdev was thinking, why I am not satisfied? And then, because he is Vyasdev, he is the avatar of the Lord. He came to the conclusion, he came to the right conclusion. Kimva Bhagavata Dharma na prayena nirupita priya paramahamsana taeva hi achyuta priya. Kimva, is it that I have not explained the devotional service properly? Kimva Bhagavata Dharma na prayena nirupita. That Bhagavat Dharma is dear to me, is dear to Supreme Lord, and it is dear to devotees also. Whether I have explained this properly? He came to the right conclusion. But still, he was not able to understand whether it is a right conclusion or it is just my mental speculation. Very important to understand. We may come to the right conclusion, but our convictions should be approved by the authorities. That is very, very important. Our convictions should be approved by our authorities. This theme comes again and again in Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj, as he's cursed by Shringi, he decides to give up everything and sit on the bank of Ganga. All the sages come, and it was a wonderful decision. But still, all the sages, they come, Parikshit Maharaj asks. He tells them, this is my conviction, this is what I have decided. Can you tell me if it is right? I have decided to sit in the bank of Ganga without eating, without drinking anything, and I want to hear the glories of the Lord. He is getting his convictions approved by the authorities. Vyasdev is Supreme Lord himself, but still, he's not able to understand. Of course, that is a pastime which he's performing. As he's contemplating, Narad Muni approaches. And Narad Muni he addresses. Vyasdev welcomes Narad Muni, makes him sit properly, worships him. And then Narad Muni asks, are you satisfied by identifying with dharma, artha, kama and moksha? Identifying with body, with the objects of sense gratification? Are you satisfied? He glorifies Vyasdev. You have done such a wonderful compilation, such wonderful work you have done. Vyasdev, at this point of time, he admits that is an ideal disciple. A disciple should always be in the mood that I don't know anything in front of my spiritual master. That is very, very important. He admits, O sage, O Narad Muni, whatever you have said is right. I am not satisfied. Although I have described all these things, still I am not satisfied. And then he glorifies Narad Muni. Narad Muni then starts replying. He diagnoses two defects. There are two problems in your compilation, O Vyasdev. He tells, first problem is you have not glorified Krishna enough. Bhavatanudita prayam yasho bhagavato amalam yenaiva sauna tushyeta manye taddarshanam khilam. Bhavata anudita praya. You have not broadcasted the glories of the Lord sufficiently. And anything which does not glorify Supreme Lord, how can that give satisfaction to anyone? It is very important to understand. Nothing of this world can give satisfaction. Can wealth give satisfaction? Hiranyakashipu is the epitome of this. Wealth, power, sense gratification. He had the best of everything. When he would raise his eyebrows, Devatas would tremble in fear. All the Devatas would be standing in line ready to serve him. The atmosphere would change as per his desire. If he's feeling too cold, okay, the temperature will go up. Oh, there should be little drizzle of the rain also. That will also come. All the trees were giving all the fruits in all the seasons. Apart from Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, everybody was under the control of Hiranyakashipu. Such power, such control. Still, was he satisfied? He was still dissatisfied. Na tripyat ajitendriyaha. He was still dissatisfied because he was uncontrolled. Nothing of this world can give satisfaction. But Maya is so clever, so cunning. She will never allow us to accept this fact. And the mind will always keep on telling, no. Try once more. The last time you try and you'll become successful. You'll enjoy this. The desire never goes away. That's why Arjuna asks Krishna, oh Krishna, why a person engages in sinful activity, although he is unwilling to do so? Why? Anichannapi varshneya athakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. Krishna tells it is only because of lust, O Arjuna. It is all devouring sinful enemy. It is not a small enemy, all devouring enemy. Maha Ashana, Maha Papma. It is voracious and vicious. The desire for sense gratification never goes away. The whole process of spiritual life is to make us understand this principal fact. This simple but yet very difficult to understand fact. Nothing of this world can give satisfaction. And Hiranyakashipu is the example of this. Vyasdev tried his best to do welfare activity for people in general. Selfless activity, still he was not satisfied. If the author is not satisfied, how can the reader be satisfied reading the Vedas? It's not possible, So first problem Narad Muni tells is you have not glorified Krishna enough. Second problem, you have overemphasized dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Srila Prabhupada writes in this purport, the liberation, he says, when one is above the stages of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, then one becomes a devotee. It is not possible to come to the practice of devotional service if one is absorbed in dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Because there is ingrained modes working there. Dharma, artha, kama, even at the level of sattva guna, if somebody is working, but still it is binding. Therefore, Narad Muni tells you have not glorified Krishna enough, and you have glorified dharma, artha, kama, moksha. You have emphasized dharma, artha, kama, moksha a lot. Vyasadeva may say, well, I have described about the wonderful qualities of Krishna in various Puranas also, in Padma Puran and all the other Purans. Narad Muni says you have not described them enough. You have described dharma, artha, kama, moksha more than glorification of Krishna. In our practice of Krishna consciousness, if we want to be satisfied, we have to emphasize more on the glories of Krishna than taking care of the things of the world. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha, or the duties of the world we have to do. But that should not gain prominence in our life. Otherwise, if we are not coming in touch with Ladini Shakti, will not be satisfied. Ladini korai Krishna Ananda Swadan, Ladini Radware kore Bhaktera Poshan. Srimati Radharani, she has two functions. She gives pleasure to Krishna and she nourishes devotees. If somebody is not coming in touch with Krishna, somebody is not coming in touch with Ladini Shakti, then it will be difficult to experience satisfaction. Bhaktera Poshan will not happen if we are not coming in touch with Ladini Shakti, because Ladini Shakti gives satisfaction. She nourishes. How to be in touch with Ladini Shakti? How to be in touch with Srimati Radharani's potency? Srila Prabhupada writes in one purport. He writes what it means to touch the lotus feet of spiritual master. Because if we want to be in touch with Ladini Shakti, it begins with surrendering to the words and instructions of spiritual masters. Touching the feet of spiritual master, Adav Guru Padashraya. What it means to touch the lotus feet of spiritual master? There is one thing to physically touch. Actually, for most of us, it is not possible. So what it means, Prabhupada himself writes in one of the purports. He writes in, I think, 4th canto, 29th purport, 29th chapter. Let me find out. Prabhupada writes a very, very important paragraph purport. What it means to touch the feet of the spiritual master. He writes there, to touch the feet of spiritual master means to give up one's false ego, to give up this understanding that I can do something without the blessings of spiritual master. That is the ego we have to give up. That's where we have to begin. And then we can start accessing the mercy of Srimati Radharani. At one other place, Prabhupada writes that he was having a conversation with one devotee. And he tells there The more disciple thinks of the spiritual master, the more he is in touch with spiritual master. It may not be Vapu association, but the association with spiritual master is possible for everyone. The more one thinks about the instructions of spiritual master, the more one depends on the mercy of spiritual master, the more one can be in touch with spiritual master. The more he's connected or she's connected with the spiritual master. So that is very, very important to understand. Narad Muni is telling Vyasdev, you have not glorified Krishna enough. That's why you're not satisfied. And it begins with following the instructions of spiritual master. Then one can come in touch with Ladini Shakti. Then one can be satisfied. Otherwise, nothing of this world can give satisfaction. Narad Muni describes there are two types of literature. There are materialistic literatures and there are spiritual transcendental literatures. The materialistic literatures of the world, they are like the places where all the crow-like personalities, they come and they gather. Nayadvajaschitra padam hareryasho jagat pavitram pragranita karhichit tadvayasam tirthamushanti manasa nayatra hamsa nirmantyo sikshaya. Nayadvajaschitra padam, those words which do not describe the glories of the Supreme Lord, which can purify the entire world, jagat pavitram pragranita karhichit tadvayasam tirtham. They are the places of pilgrimage for the crows. You will not find crows in beautiful garden full of flowers. The crows are always there in the place where garbage is dumped. Lots of crows. It is a place of pilgrimage for the crows. Tadvayasam tirtham, all the garbage. The Hamsa-like devotees, the swan-like devotees, they do not take pleasure in this. Any literature which is talking about sense gratification and even mundane piety, a devotee should not be interested in this. Especially in the current times, where the social media and all the advertisements and the videos, movies and all the social media sites, they are doing what? Promoting sense gratification. All the anarthas, lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, you will find a particular social media app for it. If you want to tell who you are, okay, Facebook is there. To show your pride, I am such a big person. If you are angry, tweet. Twitter is there. There is a if you want to be lusty, there are various other apps. Tinder is there. So all the social media is full to inflame our anarthas. A devotee should be very careful not to indulge in any of these things more than needed. Of course, some people may say, well, social media is very important. Yes, we are not against it. But the nature of these materialistic technology is they drag us down to the lowest of the things. We have to be really careful. Otherwise, we'll begin with good intentions and we'll spend lots of time and then we'll realize, oh, I have wasted lots of my time. Rupa Goswami says, Abhyartha Kalatvam is very important. And all the mundane literatures, mundane sites, all the social media sites, they are like the pilgrimage place for the crows. We have to be really careful. Srila Prabhupada would quote a verse from Chanakya Pandit. Amedhyat kanchanam grahyam. One should be expert enough to take gold even from the garbage. That requires expertise. Otherwise, while searching for the gold in the garbage, will land up with a palm full of garbage only. If we are not expert enough, we can find good things in social media also. On the YouTube, we can find good videos also. But it is like, why some tirtham? Be very careful. You have to become expert and only if needed. Otherwise, devotee is not interested. Satamayam sarabhritam nisargo yadarthavani shruti chetasamapi ratikshanam na vyavadachyutasya yat striya vitanam iva sadhu varta. Satam, the devotees of the Lord, they are seekers of the essence. Sarabhritam, Artha, Vani, Shruti, with their wealth, with their words, with their intelligence, with their consciousness, they are always absorbed in thinking of Krishna. Pratikshanam na vyavadachyutasya yat. For devotees, the pastimes of Krishna, they are always fresh. Striya Vitanam Eva Sadhu Varta. Just like the materialistic people, they are always absorbed in topics of women. Devotees are always interested. For them, it is always new, fresh. So therefore, anything which does not glorify the Lord, we should be very, very careful. The topics of dharma, artha, kama, they are very, very deadly for a devotee. Because they have a tendency to give us a feeling of happiness, but they'll steal away the propensity to transcend that and go to spiritual life and spiritual devotional life. Prabhupada, in all the purports, he again and again explains that a devotee naturally goes beyond this dharma, artha, kama, moksha. In the conversation between Ramanand Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks, what is the highest religion for a devotee? Ramanand Rai very clearly says, the highest religion is to practice devotional service. That is the highest dharma a living entity can practice in this material world. Krishna Leela Amritasar Tara Shata Shatadhar Dasha Dike Bohe Yaha Hoite Sai Chaitanya Leela Hoye Sarovar Akshay Manohamsa Charaha Tahate. Krishna Leela is like a river of nectar. It is flowing in all directions. Dasha Dike Bohe. And Mahaprabhu's pastimes, they are like the inexhaustible reservoir of nectar. A devotee should make his mind like a swan and absorb in this Harikatha. Then the desire to practice Krishna consciousness will increase. The more we absorb, the more we will become enlivened. Yeba nahi bujhe keha shunite seha kiyad bhuta chaitanya charita Krishna upaji be priti jani be rasera riti shuni lei bada hoye gita. Kaviraj Goswami says, even if you are not able to understand, please continue to hear. What will happen? What will be the result? Krishna upaji be priti, you will develop love for Krishna. Jani be rasera riti, you will understand the mellows of devotional service. Shuni lei bada hoye gita. It is for your benefit. Please hear. All the other literatures, they are compared to the place where crows come and enjoy. They are like the places of garbage dump. A devotee is not at all interested. Kulakshekhar Maharaj writes in his Mukundamala Stotra. It is so very astonishing. People in this world, they are giving up nectar and they are drinking poison. They are not reading the wonderful pastimes of Krishna and they are reading the topics of this world. Asharyam manushya loke sudham parityajya visham pibanti. They are giving up nectar. Sudham parityajya visham pibanti, drinking poison. Namani narayana gocharani. Name, form, pastimes of Krishna, they are like nectar. Tyatva nyavacha kuhaka patanti. They are giving up that and interested in dharma, artha, kama of this world. What is the use? That was creating such pain in the heart of Advaita Acharya, who is Mahavishnu, who is Sadashiva. He could not help. He could not deliver living entities because Kali Yuga people, they are very difficult to be delivered. Advaita Acharya is thinking only Krishna comes, only if he comes, then only there is some hope. And we are so fortunate that Krishna has come and we have all the wonderful pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By mercy of Advaita Acharya, Lord has appeared in this world. So as a practitioner of Krishna consciousness, as a sincere, serious devotee, a practicing sadhaka, we should be very, very careful not to focus on dharma, artha, kama, and even moksha. Tar madhye moksha vancha kaitava pradhan. Kaviraj Goswami says, of all these four purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, moksha is the greatest of the cheating. Because there is no seva there. Krishna bhakti, taha Krishna bhakti hoya antardhan. How can you serve Krishna? When you get liberated, where is seva? There is a conversation going on between a devotee and Mukti Devi. A devotee is absorbed in doing his bhajan, chanting, meditating on the Lord. Suddenly Mukti Devi comes. And this person, devotee, is sitting with his eyes closed. Suddenly he senses somebody has come. He opens his eyes. He sees a beautiful lady standing in front of him. Katvam, he asks, who are you? She says, Mukti Rupagatasmi Bhakti. I am Mukti Devi. I have come here to serve you. Kasmada Kasmadiha. The devotee asks, suddenly, how come you have come here? I did call you. Mukti Devi says, Tvam Krishna Deva Smaranena Bhavato Dasi Padam Prapita. Because you are serving Krishna, I have become your servant. The devotee says, Dure Tishta Managanagasi. He says, just stay away, O abominable one. So Mukti Devi gets shocked. Katham Kuryadanariyamai. Are what wrong I have done? Why are you chastising me? I have come to serve you and you are giving me abuses. What is this? What is the problem? Tvad-gandhan nijanama chandan rasale pasya lopo bhavet. Just by your fragrance, my desire to serve Krishna will go away. So moksha is like kaivalyam narakayate, it is hellish for a devotee. Because if seva is not there, I don't want to go to Vaikuntha if seva is not there. Diyamanam na grananti binamat sevanam jana. The same thing Hanumanji tells. If seva is not there, if I can't serve my Lord Ram, I don't want to go to Vaikuntha. I don't want liberation. So that's how a devotee should understand the wonderful position of Krishna consciousness. Then dharma, artha, kama, moksha will become insignificant. In our current condition stage, still sense gratification sometimes looks attractive because of our conditioning, because of our previous anarthas. We have to remind ourselves again and again. The more I'll engage in sense gratification, the more it will give me misery. The more I will satisfy my anarthas, they will never give me happiness. They will never give me relief. They'll never give me peace. Utsrijya etanata yadupate. Oh my Lord, oh Yadupati, I have given up service to my senses. Please accept me, oh my Lord. That's how we have to understand that all the other literatures which are describing dharma, artha, kama, and that's what Chandamarka they wanted to teach Prahlad, but Prahlad was absorbed in Harinam Matta. How he will be affected by any of this? So as a practicing devotee, we should always have this aspiration. The more we absorb ourselves in Hari Katha, with a sincere, prayerful mood, with attentive mind, the more that Krishna Katha will purify us. Prashtaha Karnarandhrena, the more we allow the sound vibration to enter our ears, the more the heart will be purified. Otherwise, we are chanting every day, but is it going inside the ears? Sometimes you don't even realize chanting ho gaya. My chanting is over. I didn't even hear one word of my chanting. Many times it happens. We have to be conscious and cautious. Conscious of Krishna, cautious of Maya. Not getting attracted to dharma, artha, kama, moksha. It's like Prahlad Maharaj is showing by his wonderful example. The epitome of absorption. The more we are absorbed, the more we will not even perceive the trials and tribulations of the world. Prahlad Maharaj didn't even realize that he had to go through all this because he was absorbed in Krishna. All the Brajvasis, they were absorbed in Krishna. They didn't even experience the pains, the troubles which the demons were creating. Iti nanda dayo gopa Krishna Rama katha muda Guruvanto ramamanasya navindan bhava vedana. Navindan bhava vedana, they never even realized the pains of this world. That is in store for all of us. The more we become purified, the more we develop attraction for Krishna, the more the troubles of the world will not affect us. That's what we have to aspire for. That's what Prahlad Maharaj is showing by his example. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions anybody has?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very, very beautiful class. It was really enlightening, Prabhuji. So many things you shared. It was very thought-provoking. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, I request Kaka Krishna Prabhu can ask you a question first.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji, for giving me the chance to ask the question. Gaur Vilas, as usual, you are such a wonderful speaker and so much you take out from all the literatures, Rupa Goswami. Prabhu, you were telling one thing, this Kutinati. What Kutinati, can you give an example? What is Kutinati?
Kutinati means duplicity.
Ah, okay. Showing off.
I'll tell you the exact verse. Kutinati Jiva Himsan. It comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just give me 1 second. I'll just find out. Yeah. It is Madhya Lila, 19th chapter, 159th verse. Nishiddhachar Kutinati Himsan, Labha, Puja, Pratishtha, Adi, Upashakhagan. So, Chaitanya instructing Srila Rupa Goswami here. Nishiddhachar, behavior not to be exhibited by a person desiring to become perfect. Kutinati, diplomacy. Jiva Himsa, unnecessary killing of animals or anyone. Labha, profit according to material calculation. Puja, adoration achieved by satisfying mundane people. Pratishtha, becoming an important person in material calculation. All these are upashakhagan. They are all creepers which grow along with Bhaktilata beach. So we have to be really careful not to water them, because in Krishna consciousness you'll find you'll get best of Krishna and you'll get best of Maya also. You'll get both. So we have to be careful. What do we want? Krishna will give everything. Krishna is Kalptaru. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, he will give everything. Akama, Sarvakama, Mokshakama. What do we want? If you want sense gratification, Krishna will give. Krishna tells very clearly, what do you want? Come to me, I'll give you. If you want sense gratification, I'll give you. Yat karmabir, yat tapasa, jnana vairagyaschayat yogena dana dharmena shreyobhir itarairapi sarvam mad bhakti yogena mad bhakto labhate anjasa swarga apavarga mad dhama katinchid yadi vanchati. Krishna is telling to Uddhav, whatever results you want by performing karma, by tapasya, by jnana, by dana, by yajna, by becoming expert in the Vedic rituals, anything you want, you will get it. My devotee gets everything. Sarvam mad bhakti yogena mad bhakto labhate anjasa. My devotee gets easily all these things. You want heaven? I'll give you heaven. You want liberation? I'll give you liberation. You want me? I'll bring you to my abode. So it is it is like walking on a razor's edge. The more we advance in years, the more we spend years in Krishna consciousness, the more we have to be very careful. Otherwise, the tests will become very subtle. In the beginning years, the tests are very gross. Our anarthas are troubling us. Of course, it may go on for decades also. But the more we advance, the more our struggles become subtle. We have to be careful. So that is how we have to understand and go ahead in this process of Krishna consciousness.
Prabhu, in this devotee association, suppose I want to somehow get the big people to our somehow to make ena kena prakarena. So at the time we put our chartered accountant and cost and management accountant. It is not to show off or read, because the people, when they see the profile, oh, he is from Britannia, okay, then let me see what is he talking. So it is not an intention to show all the people that I am a very qualified person, that I am a IIT, this bad, that bad. So the public also looking, is there any really big people from Unilever? They got some big thing, what the Unilever talks. But when you become devotee, you understand that this is not to show off. It will just attract those people and then somehow bring them to Krishna. So is it wrong to do that? It is not that we can just write Sukakar Krishna without any designation and all. But this is just to crowd pulling.
Prabhuji, basic, simple understanding. What is my intention behind all this?
Intention is somehow to bring to Prabhupada's feet.
Or do I want to become famous? Do I want to get things of the world? Do I want fame? Do I want prestige?
No.
The understanding we should have. What is my intention in anything I am doing?
Yes. Intention is somehow to bring them to. Because if I bring a CEO of a big company, I'm sure he will be able to pull many other people. That is the only intention. Ek ko pakdega do aur 10-15 aayega.
Yes, so that is how we have to judge our intentions, judge our actions.
But what he said in the thin line is there, Anytime you may get carried away and you may feel blissful. Oh, somebody glorifying, that also is there. I know for sure it is there. But we have to be knowing that Maya is waiting to trap us, because Krishna Bhuliya, Jeev Bhagwan, then immediately which you catch. So keeping that in mind and always think Guru's mercy, Vaishnava's mercy, we can always have the goal that it is to just for the pleasure of the Lord, we are servant.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Prabhu, how to get absorbed in spiritual life? Absorbed. The people get absorbed.
You are much more absorbed, Prabhuji. I have to learn from you. The intensity which you all have, especially the way you ask questions, it is like, laulyam, tatra eklam mulyam, that is the price we have to pay, and you are so very eager to advance. So that's how we have to just continue, be very, very eager in
Greedy.
all the stages. Greedy.
Greedy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gaur. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Bhagavati Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there is a question from Shivakumar Prabhu in the chat. Detachment from results of devotional service is one thing that is encouraged and practiced. But is there a way to practice detachment from the way in which we desire to do the service? More of my way of doing seems difficult to get rid of for me. Please share some insights.
Prabhuji, can you speak it, whoever Shiva Kumar Prabhu? Can you just clarify this question?
Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranams, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, the question is, Prabhu, when a service comes up, based on my swabhava, skills and experience, I prefer a way of doing it, Prabhu. But when we work as a team, there are some other thoughts coming up. Sometimes it seems to be orthogonal to the way I think. So it becomes difficult to kind of accept the others' way of doing it, Prabhu, is what the question. There is attachment to my way of thinking, my way of doing it.
Okay. Yeah, if it is something about our devotional service, we are doing service with our devotees. And if many devotees are, favoring the other opinion. Okay, I am saying something, but many other are telling, no, this is the better way of doing. Then to surrender and to submit to whatever the seniors, whatever the majority other devotees are doing, that is the right thing. Even if we think, I think my idea was better, but what to do? All these other devotees are telling that this will not work. Okay, I'll surrender. In that surrender, we advance more. That's how we have to work at devotional circles. When many other devotees are telling that, no, Prabhu, you should not do this. You should now focus on this service, or you should do this in some other way. Many are telling like this. If one devotee tells, okay, not much. But many are telling, that means we should learn to surrender. Otherwise, when we will learn surrender? We'll just keep on speaking about surrender. And we will start working on it. It will not come automatically one day that now from today I'll surrender. No, we have to start now. So that's how in devotee association we have to learn to submit. If many are telling, many seniors are telling, authorities are telling that okay, this should be done in this way. Okay, submit. That in that advance.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Next, Radha Priti Mataji, Radha Jyoti Mataji is asking. So, reading is also hearing, isn't it? Because the scriptures are communication only, divine. So then why hearing is given more importance?
Prabhupada, in one purport, he writes this. Hearing and explaining is more important than reading. That is one place Prabhupada writes. Of course, in many places Prabhupada writes, and Prabhupada speaks also, you should read my books. There is no substitute to reading, and not just reading like a novel reading and reading Bhagavad Gita is a huge difference. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is not to be read on the my day is about to end. I want to read something which will bring good sleep to me. Okay, I'll read Bhagavatam. Some people tell, if I don't get sleep, I start reading Bhagavad Gita. Or I start chanting. Achhi neend aati hai. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam scriptures are meant to be studied scrutinizingly, analyzed. Prabhupada would tell, we should read my books from different angles of vision. Reading is very important. But when we hear from devotees what we have read, the devotees not just speak the words they have heard, they speak their realization. For sure, some understanding will pour out. Even if a new devotee, apparently new devotee speaking, he or she will speak some of his or her own realizations for sure. It will come automatically. And that's what we should be looking for. We should not look for information. Information is there in the books. That realization is important thing. The understanding is important thing. The more we look for those hidden jewels in the Bhagavatam classes, the more we'll become rich. And the more we hear, the more we should try to serve also. The knowledge becomes realization by serving devotees. Artha bhavam vinishchitya pratitasya pinatmanah yacchapi yushmacharana sevayaham paranude. Vidurji is telling to Maitreya Muni, oh Maitreya Muni, you have given me such wonderful knowledge. That knowledge will become bereft of the meaning, artha abhava. That knowledge will not give me real meaning unless I serve you. So that's how hearing is very important. If not less important, then reading equally important. And of course, little more important.
Thank you.
The more I hear, I fear of the material world, how to take precautions about it. That's a good thing. We should be fearful of the material world. If we are not getting fearful of the material world, even after hearing, that means there is some problem. But that fear should not make us over anxious, depressed. That fear should make us more and more dependent on the Lord. If that is not happening, then there is some problem in our hearing. If by hearing about the problems of the world, if somebody is becoming more depressed, disturbed, agitated, fearful, that means we are not understanding completely. The description of the material world is given so that we can understand how to take shelter of Krishna. That is the only thing which is the essence of description of all these problems of the material world. Why do you think the hell is described in Bhagavatam with such graphic details? Living entity is given a yatana deha, and the vultures, they tear apart their intestines and they are crushed in between the wheels, and itna what? So much is given. Why? Take shelter. That's the only thing which is needed. Okay. When we say follow instructions of spiritual master, would it mean Diksha Guru, Siksha Guru, both? In fact, Siksha Guru is, Kaviraj Goswami gives more importance to Siksha Gurus. In fact, our line is, of course, Siksha Guru means what? Anyone who gives instructions. Most of the times our Diksha and Siksha Guru may be one. Siksha Guru means when we take instructions from someone. Our parampara is not Diksha line, it is Siksha line. Siksha Guru's parampara is there. So somebody should not think, jab tak mere guru nahi bolenge, till the time my guru will not tell me, I will not do any seva. So many of your elder God brothers are telling you, that is Siksha Guru. You have to take instructions from them. That is important. If devotional service is the highest dharma for the jiva, why it is not explicitly listed as one of the goals of religion? Because it is so high. It cannot be given to everyone. Only a person who wants it, that person will be given, not everyone. Krishna doesn't give this so easily. But Mahaprabhu is giving like water. He is distributing nectar like water. Chaitanya avatare bahe premamrita banya sarvajiva preme bhase prithvi bhaila dhanya je banyaye je na bhase se jiva char koti janme kabutar nahi kanistar. Mahaprabhu has brought the river of love of God. He is distributing like water, all this wonderful river. Anybody who does not take advantage of it, he is unfortunate. So that's why anything which is highest, it is not given generally to ordinary people. Our fortune is we have come in at a time where Mahaprabhu is distributing freely all this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there is some question. You were talking about satisfaction when it is there only when we come in connection with the Haladini Shakti. So can you please explain more? It is that emotion quotient, or it is spiritual, or how it is? It's katha, getting into the katha, not only tattva. What does it mean?
Anything related to Krishna consciousness. When we put our heart there, when we are present there, when we are prayerful, then we access Ladini Shakti. Just externals, they won't allow us to experience Ladini Shakti. Sitting in the Bhagavatam class, one may be completely distracted. Chanting 64 rounds, one may be distracted. Doing seva, one may be distracted. It will give very little benefit. Or it will, at the max, it will give some piety. To access Ladini Shakti, we have to be conscious of it. Why I'm doing it? We have to be prayerful. That is very important. Conscious of Krishna. I need it. Then we will receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani also. Then we'll be happy. Then we'll be satisfied. And even if we are not experiencing that joy, we should continue based on the instructions given. I will surely cross. Etam sa asthaya paratmanishtha. We should have faith in the words of spiritual masters. If I do this, surely I will develop love of God. Surely I will develop satisfaction. If we are prayerful, for sure we will be satisfied with our endeavors. It is not possible. If we are not prayerful, then satisfaction is difficult. If we are really genuinely praying to Lord every day, we'll be satisfied at the end of the day for sure. Because if Krishna and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are looking for that sincerity in our prayers. So that is what we have to understand. To experience Ladini Shakti means to be absorbed in a prayerful mood. Whatever we are doing, we are distributing books, singing, speaking, managing, whatever we are doing, cooking. Why I am doing it? Keep on praying to Krishna. That is how we can experience, be in touch with Ladini Shakti.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Prabhuji, you were talking about not to read books while getting sleep. Is kirtan, hearing kirtan while going to sleep, is it okay?
No, we can read books while sleeping, no problem. But only while sleeping, reading books, that is a problem. We can read also, but that should not be the only way we are reading. Okay.
Yes.
That's same with the Kirtan. That's the understanding. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. There are no
Okay.
more questions or hand raised, so we are okay. We can end the call here. Let us pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas. Vancha
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Jai Shri
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।